Salutations everyone, and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you not just what happened this week, but only the things that mattered. Today is N7 Day, November 7th, the day where all of us Mass Effect fans come together and ask why you have no more info on Mass Effect Andromeda. It is no question that Call of Duty is kind of a big deal. The new one just dropped yesterday. It's probably going to be the best-selling game of the year like it is every year. It's like clockwork. Regardless of what you think about the franchise, it is a big deal. Prior to Black Ops 3's release, Black Ops 2 was still the most played game on Xbox Live. A 3-year-old Call of Duty game, which just shows you A, how bad the last two Call of Duties were, and B, just how big Call of Duty is. I mean, the Black Ops 2 community, a 3-year-old game, is still bigger than their competition's last two games put together, or the last Halo games, so yeah, it's a big deal. And now that we have Black Ops 3 out, there's also announcements coming from Activision that they are working on a Call of Duty movie. Yes, Activision has a new branch focused towards feature films and television shows. They are working on a Call of Duty movie, which is, they say, going to come out somewhere 2018, 2019, we don't know. And they're also making a Skylanders TV show, which I'm kind of surprised hasn't already actually happened. As far as a Call of Duty movie goes, I don't know where the demand is for that. Sure, it's a huge franchise and, you know, the most beloved multiplayer thing out year after year. Always a big deal, but no one really buys it for the story, at least anymore. Maybe there's two of you out there that actually do, but the story has never really been a selling point for Call of Duty, and it doesn't really beckon the need to have it played out in a cinematic universe. I'm sure it'll be, you know, much more like G.I. Joe in that it's not really based off of anything and they're just trying to cash in on a tentpole large audience kind of thing. The Skylanders thing I think will do pretty well. They have a lot of actually really good talent attached to that, to voice work wise, but as far as the Call of Duty movie goes, I don't know about that. And speaking of video game movies, we have another one in the pipeline. They're making a Witcher movie. Now you may remember that some Polish people made a Witcher movie a little bit ago, and really hasn't seen much release outside of that, but this is a legit Witcher movie. Now, this Witcher movie will not be based on the actual video games, but the novels written by Andrzej Sapkowski. And there's really no word really outside of that. They have a director lined up, an Oscar-nominated one at that, who also worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that's very interesting. You have a very well-known video game franchise that has had a Polish movie adaptation, but instead of going to the video games as source material, they're going to the short story novels, which is, I think, an interesting approach. Narratively, it makes a lot more sense since, you know, novels give you a lot more to delve into and translate better to film than, as we know, video games do. So that'll be very interesting. And, you know, if that works out, maybe instead of trying to make a Halo video game, they based it off on one of the novels. So we have heard plenty of rumors about potential solo Batman films outside of Batfleck's Batman vs. Superman and Justice League roles, and the possibility of him actually even directing one or possibly more of these movies. Well, now we have some rumors about what the stories from these movies might be based off of, and it makes a lot of sense based off of what's already happened in this cinematic universe according to the trailers of Batman vs. Superman. So reportedly this film or films will have to do with the Death in the Family and Under the Hood storylines. Makes perfect sense. We know from the trailers that Jason Todd is dead, was killed by the Joker, and the Red Hood storyline is ripe for the pick and I think would be a fantastic route to go. It was a fantastic animated film in its own right, a very, very good comic book storyline, and it absolutely makes sense for this to be their next step if they were going to go with a solo Batman film, which of course would have the Red Hood and Joker as your primary antagonists, which, I mean, everyone loves Joker and it's very, very easy to market. And no word of, like, if there would be any role for Nightwing or who would be playing him. But yeah, if Batfleck can star and direct and it has to do with the Red Hood, yeah, I'm all aboard with that train. In revival news, you may have heard of a new Star Trek TV show in development, slated to come out January of 2017, so hold your horses, we're 13 plus months off of that, but reportedly it'll be coming out on CBS as far as the pilot goes, and after that, all of the episodes will be on their own VOD service, CBS All Access, which is a very interesting and I think risky move. I think there is some demand there for a new Star Trek series. It has been a while, and it has the producers and writers of the last Star Trek films, which I personally really liked. I am not a Trekkie, I will admit that, but I really enjoyed those movies, and with a fresh start and a always loyal following that Star Trek has, it could be successful. But if they're only relegating it to their VOD service, we have to pay a subscription just like Netflix, although everyone already has Netflix, and it might work out for a few people, but overall, I think just a bit too risky. Speaking of VOD services, let's talk about Netflix and their Marvel lineup that might be getting shaken up. We also saw Daredevil, amazing. Jessica Jones comes out in just a couple of weeks and it looks amazing. And we know that Luke Cage will follow suit after that in season 2 of Daredevil, which has Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. And we all know that the fourth step in this 5-step phase was supposed to be Iron Fist and then have them all culminate in the Defenders. Well, the people, according to sources, are having trouble fitting the Iron Fist into this world that they have created in Daredevil and Jessica Jones so far, and that, he's got mystical powers and all that kind of stuff. So we knew that Iron Fist was originally supposed to be a Marvel movie, and then they added this whole Netflix Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist Defenders plot that they had going on. So we figured, oh, okay, so now he's going to have his own TV show instead of a movie. Well, now the rumor is that he's going to be becoming a Netflix feature film, because they can't fit him within that same universe, so they're just going to give him his own feature film, and taking his place on the Defenders will be Jon Bernthal's Punisher, which the people, according to sources, say that the executives are pretty pleased with his performance in season 2 of Daredevil. So that seems actually really likely. You can see where they're coming from. You might have some difficulties fitting him with the rest of the universe, especially if you don't set it up properly, but it is all within the Marvel universe, which we know is going to have Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch, and that's going to have all kinds of magic and stuff with it. So, I mean, you do need to set a precedent sometime, but if they want to go this direction, I do understand. As long as we get more Netflix exclusive Marvel stuff, I mean, it's gonna be good, right? Because they've shown success and continued dedication to continuing that, and I like it. Club Nintendo has been dead for quite some time now, and we've been wondering what's going to replace it and when. It's called My Nintendo, and the way it works, similar to Club Nintendo, don't know if there's going to be surveys involved, but you buy games and play games, and you will add points to your My Nintendo account. This works on all their consoles, handhelds, and their mobile games that they just started off a week ago, and you can use those points on in-game purchases on console, handheld, or mobile, or you can redeem them for coupons or physical gifts. So finally nice to hear some information about Club Nintendo's replacement. We don't know how many points things are going to be, how many points you can earn by playing the games. That's definitely a new thing. Definitely cannot wait to see what rewards that they have in store for the new My Nintendo, because hopefully they can start it off with a bang with some really nice exclusive stuff. So we have some new info about your arena FPSs that are coming out, MOBA-esque first-person shooter games. Battleborn has been pushed back 3 months to May of 2016 instead of February, and with BlizzCon going on, we got a lot more information on Overwatch, including 3 new characters that were announced. We learned that Battleborn is getting a $60 full retail release on consoles with the Xbox One and PS4. There were a lot of people not expecting this. They thought, this free-to-play model is going to work the same way it has in the past. But with Blizzard's success with the port of Diablo 3 to consoles, I think that they felt that this was the right choice to make. And I actually agree. When it comes to the free-to-play model, obviously it's going to be different if you're a PC player or mainly a console player on how you feel about those, since PC players have more free-to-play-esque things. But when it comes to me and microtransactions, it's easier to have that $60 upfront than to accumulate $60 in-game microtransactions. It's an easier pill to swallow, and if you can just start off with all of this awesome stuff that you've paid for with a retail release game, I think it might work a little bit better for the console audience that they apparently are now targeting with this $60 full retail release. Any hooting the blowfish, that is what mattered this week. If you'd like to know what matters in the future, you can hit the subscribe button. One of these comes out every single Saturday. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave your comments and questions down below in the comment section, and we'll see you guys next time.